All these steps to set up because. Soybean is up. Ta-da-da-da, ta-da-da-da-da, ChatGPT Vizani, and this video Sudni. Very basic. What does this mean? Alright, these settings good. The scientist won't hurt you. It's not a but invest placement tests are signals down to what actually matters more. Less than 3% spam invest is zero. It real replies from real prospect, no sudden open rate collapse. So tiny steps keep it there. What is the daily inbox placement test limit? This is something most people blindly said without understanding. It is the maximum number of testimonials your tool sends per day to send test accounts to check inbox versus spam placement. Deliverability, health, reputation signals. Baby, if you want me, baby, if you call me. Sending should look like instant. You must you must ensure the CNAME is fully propagated. Check with DNS checker. Make sure it's not conflicting with existing subdomains. Never use the root domain as tracking. Am I supposed to enable this? Yes. Plus plus from AI is friends. We will be able to track our DJ against activity via enemy option does not expose you more than normal image in your editor. This is done by via when the game signatures open reply delete spam clicks links destination so you are never invisible. The goal is not invisibility, the goal is looking legitimate. Links go through shared and one's like यसो उसे हाल्नै पर्ने हो मैले यो के हो what's this you're tracking domain or subdomain shit check status enemy person alright it's great was good guys, welcome to my live stream. We are up and running and yeah, let me check my premium inboxes first. Tell me if you want me, tell me if you want me. Dun, 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 dun. Richard Rich ticket. Or in without or done delivered. ChatGPT me Victoria. It's crazy man, it's crazy in it. Crazy. Orders. Premium inbox. By the way, हाम्रो total cost कति भयो हैन? Let me check. अब एउटा नो सो डग टेम्प्लेट बनाउनु पर्यो. Don't be chat. Don't be chat. Chat. What do you think? Should we or should we not? It's in all understanding done. Budgeting. Domains को हाम्रो पर्यो $8.89 $18 जति हैन $18 $18 पर्यो मेल बक्सेसको हाम्रो एक्ज्याक्टली $21 $21 अनि इन्स्ट्यान्टली एआईको हाम्रो पर्यो $42 होइन $42 10% अफ 10% अफ $47 47 10% of 47 oh my god brother 4.7 होइन 4.7 567 जस हाम्रो हारारी पर्यो $42 टोटल अहिले Apollo leads comma IG leads comma X leads $42 होइन मेल बक्सेस $42 अहिलेलाई टोटल हाम्रो पर्यो $18.18 $21 क्यालकुलेटर पर्यो 18 plus 18 plus 21 plus 42 it comes down to $81 staggering $81 त्यो भनेको $81 इन नेपाल रुपिस $81 इन रुपिस 7,432 पर्यो होइन त्यसले कसरी भन्यो मलाई त यो यसको त जोडेकै छैन ए नेपाली रुपिस नेपाली 11-12,000 हाम्रो बजेट गयो 12,000 estimate return not bad if you're searching for like clients doing if we are aiming for 2-3 lakh I guess it's not bad alright it's like x return damn crazy brother crazy baby if you want me refund the payment back to your account Loki heads so आज हाम्रो प्लान के छ टु डुज सबै कमेन्ट भयो लेट्स गो ब्रदर लेट्स गो इट्स अल कम्प्लिटेड अप एन्ड रनिङ होइन सबै त राख्नु मेड दिस मन्थ यो पनि त्यही गरे नि त mid this month आजको हाम्रो फोकस ट्र्याकर होइन फोकस ट्र्याकर त यो भइहाल्यो कोल्ड इमेल 101 टु डुज आजको हाम्रो टु डुज के हो find out whether you should set up custom Despacito, somewhat that I can position myself as a trapped by today's trapped position myself है ना कि नहीं अट्रैक्ट करना दाई कौन होना बोले what our ICP is going to be director founder Michelle Touch what niche are we targeting what did going to choose what lead website are we going to choose what verifier are we going to use no I can it leads Discord Insta and even LinkedIn start writing case studies and content आज भी करने वाले हैं first of all expert had to do this maker right thanks for sure man Here any people ever kill me, man. What did message? Message. Fiona. Sophia. Sorry, Felicidades, we will not try my opinions. How home actually works from home to is in English medium university in tracking serial what the customer is for the customer. The link tracking or contacting users using anonymous simulation. Repair simulation. This is awkward, right? So PM. Alright. Everything's working great and fine. That's what I see. Confirm online long term change and only if you're gonna do then one primary achievement is define revenue, define ultra specific niche industry business, revenue bracket geography focus. coaches, founders. Example of correct specificity. US-based B2B SaaS founders doing 500K per month. Yeah, showing with outbound pipelines. You know. Scaling pipeline. Good imagery. Yeah, this is where different to scaling model volume, aggressive testing, precision scaling, tighter ICP, high personalization, fear, but high degree, different target, required meeting volume, required repair rate, required delete lead volume, reverse engineering, everything, lead generation stack, Apollo, instantly lead, sales navigator, reverse reverse, base, on primary system, avoid to criteria accuracy, cost per one content. Yes, and then content proof engine, start writing 3 case studies, even if small results. Authority post 3 educational threads. Suggesting content should address nice, 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 nice. Crazy, 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 crazy. यति भएपछि त अनि कहाँ सक्नु अब हाम्रो गोल vision एकदम vision. First of all, our vision is gonna be extremely clear. We gotta execute, 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 fucking execute every day. Yeah. Regarding त्यो के ब्लग पोस्ट पढ भनेको थिएँ होइन Sharing will do thing. त्यो ब्लग पोस्ट पढ भनेको थियो यार अनि कहाँ छुट्टा यार ब्लग chatting with let me search this guy on LinkedIn. So basically what like the मान्छेहरू find गर्न what we have to do for finding clients and stuff is like basically you stalking up your favorite crush like take for example you like this girl and you whatever means necessary you have to find the food and flower you like. What are you gonna do? First, you're gonna search up her Instagram, search up, go through all the stories, the comments, everything. And moving forward, you can go to the following list of hers, search for her mom, dad, anything like any means necessary, you have to find it. The same is with finding clients here. Killed. Right now I'm not focused here. We're chilling word. Oh my my god, founder premium inbox is #1 Google versus inbox provider. Cool email header. Cha! Bro, shit man. You could apply on the never landing in spam. I just dropped a full breakdown on YouTube. So, not good about that. The saves in even most people get wrong. The formula reverse in you cannot scale cold email by just sending more. That's the first way to burn your domains. I think successful cold email I've ever made all build the infrastructure first. I broke it down all in one new video so you can see the full system step by step, link in the comments. If you don't want to set all of this up yourself, that's exactly what we do at Premium Inbox. We will build a cold email infrastructure that lands you in primary. 20% are done for your setup. Hit the link in my bio. Use code link.
Over the last 2 years, I've helped over 2,000 agencies and businesses set up their cold email infrastructure. And collectively, we're sending from over 250,000 inboxes right now, which is sending millions of cold emails each month. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to send 1,000, 2,000, or even more cold emails every single day without landing in spam. I'm going to break down the exact numbers, the infrastructure setup, and the step-by-step system you need to scale your outreach so that you can consistently get a flow of leads from cold email. So let's get into it. So let's take a look at safe sending limits. I'm going to start with the numbers because before you set up any infrastructure of any kind, you need to understand the maths behind how many emails you can safely send. Once you know the limits per inbox and per domain, you can work backwards. You can reverse engineer to figure out exactly what setup you need to hit your volume goals. So let me break this down for you. How many emails you can send per day, how many you can send per inbox, and how many inboxes you can have on each domain. We look at a very conservative number of around 10 emails per day per inbox. This is the safe baseline. This is where you should try to operate. Even with fully aged and warm domains, we recommend you never exceed a conservative number of around 10 emails per day per inbox. This is
10 emails per day per inbox.
The safe baseline. This is where you should try to operate. Even with fully aged and warm domains, we recommend you never exceed 15 to 20 emails per inbox. That is the ultimate ceiling. I've seen campaigns tank overnight when people push to 40 plus emails per inbox. We recommend 10 as this is where we've identified the best volume to longevity balance. We spend slightly more as you have more infrastructure, but it causes less issues and needs to be swapped out far less often. Now, in terms of how many inboxes you can have per domain, it's best if you stick with 2 to 3 when using direct Google or Microsoft infrastructure. It should never exceed 3 as an absolute maximum right now. And this is because the more inboxes you have on each domain, the more footprints there are, and the more risk you're actually exposing yourself to. Now, how do we calculate the safe daily volume? The formula is super simple. Daily volume equals domains times by inboxes per domain times by emails per inbox. So if you're running 10 domains with 3 inboxes, sending 15 emails per inbox, 10 times 3 times 15 is 450 emails per day. So you should be working backwards from your goal. Let's say you want to send 1,000 emails per day with 3 inboxes.
Daily volume, domains, inboxes per domain, emails per inbox. 3 inboxes, 2 6.
Sending 15 emails per inbox, 10 times
2 6 15. Let me see. 2 into 3 into 15. हाम्रो 2 6 15 and 90 वटा जनशक्ति न
times 3 times 15 is 450 emails per day. So you should be working backwards from your goal. Let's say you want to send 1,000 emails per day. At 15 emails per inbox, that means you need around 67 inboxes. And at 3 inboxes per domain, that's roughly 22 domains. So now you know exactly what infrastructure you need to build. And the rest of this video is going to show you how to set it up properly so those emails actually land and you're not wasting your time. And when you're scaling, always have your next batch of infrastructure ready before you need it. If you wait until you've maxed out your current setup or for an issue to strike, which it will, and then you start building more, you're already too late. I've seen it done time and time again. You'll either rush it and send from unwarned accounts, which lands you in spam, or you'll be stuck waiting with no way to increase the volume. The best way that we found to do this is to set aside a reserve set of infrastructure, aging in the background. So when you're ready to scale, the infrastructure is there waiting to be called up. So let's talk about setting up your infrastructure. Now those numbers only work if your infrastructure is solid. If you send 10 emails a day from a broken setup, you'll still land in spam. And if you can't even land 10 emails, you have got absolutely no chance of scaling to hundreds, if not thousands of emails. So let's talk about what actually needs to be true and in place. First, you need to have the right domains. So as I've said before, and I will continue saying, stick to clean.com domains from providers like Portman, Namecheap, or GoDaddy. Never use your main business domain for cold email. Always use separate domains. And this is because if your cold email domain gets flagged or blacklisted, you don't want that affecting your main website, or even worse, your company's email reputation. You also want unique sending personas on each inbox to avoid generic addresses like info at or contact at, because email providers know these are automated. It's spotted from a mile away. Next is your authentication. And this is absolutely non-negotiable. You need SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and MX records all configured correctly before you first send anything. If any of these are misconfigured, you're going to go straight to spam if the email even sends, even with perfect copy and a clean list. So always double check on tools like MX Toolbot. Don't trust it. Always use separate domains. And this is because we continue saying no chance of scaling to hundreds, if not thousands of emails. So let's talk about what actually needs to be true and in place. First, you need to have the right domains. So as I've said before, and I will continue saying, stick to clean.com domains from providers like Portman, Namecheap, or GoDaddy. Never use your main business domain for cold email. You need to have the right domains. So as I've said
First, you need to have the right
before, and I will continue saying, stick to clean.com domains from providers like Portman, Namecheap, or GoDaddy. Never use your main business domain for cold email. Always use separate domains. And this is because if your cold email domain gets flagged or blacklisted, you don't want that affecting your main website, or even worse, your company's email reputation. You also want unique sending personas on each inbox to avoid generic addresses like info at or contact at, because email providers know these are automated. It's spotted from a mile away. Next is your authentication. This is absolutely non-negotiable. You need SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and NX, because email providers know these are automated. It's spotted from a mile away. Next is your authentication. This is absolutely non-negotiable. You need SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and NX records all configured correctly before you first send anything. If any of these are misconfigured, you're going to go straight to spam, if the email even sends, even with perfect copy and a clean list. Always double check on tools like MX Toolbot. Don't trust it just looks fine. And finally, you need official accounts. Never use cracked or farmed accounts. These are accounts that were created through workarounds or bought in bulk from sketchy sources. You need official Google Workspace or Microsoft 365 business account. And you also want clean US-based residential IPs. And this matters because email providers look at where your emails are coming from. So if you're sending from flagged IPs or data centers associated with spam, you're starting at a disadvantage. Guilty until proven innocent, rather than innocent until proven guilty. By the way, if you're watching this thinking, I really don't want to set all this up myself, that's exactly what we do at Premium Inboxes. We handle domains, authentication, everything, and deliver ready to send inboxes in under 6 hours. The link's in the description if you want us to just do it for you. But anyway, back to the video. Alright, so you've got the right infrastructure in place, but you can't just start blasting emails on day one. Your inboxes need to earn trust with email providers first. And that's what warm up is all about. This is what allows you to eventually hit the volume numbers we talked about. And if you skip it, you'll quite frankly never get there. So I'm going to walk you through the timeline, the ramp up schedule, and how to monitor your warm up health. First things first, you need to age your accounts before you use them in any of your cold campaigns. And this means at least 2 weeks of warm up sending before any cold outreach. Email providers are suspicious of brand new domains because simply they're quite often used by spammers and they burn through them quickly. So we need to go through and build this reputation. It's absolutely crucial. Also, a 2025 deliverability report from Folderly found that over 41% of new domains get flagged within the first 30 days of cold outreach. That's almost half. So don't think you're something special and you can get away without it. Now, once your warm up is past 2 weeks, you need to ramp up your sending volume gradually. The best way to do it is over a 4-week period. In week 1, you're sending 5 emails per day. And these need to go to real people, not a warm up pool, not synthesized reputation. This is real engagement. Week 2, you bump it up to 10. And at this point, you should be getting some replies back. By week 3, you're at 15. Not a warm up pool, not synthesized reputation. This is real engagement. Week 2, period. In week 1, you're sending 5 emails per day. And these need to go to real people. So you need to ramp up your sending volume gradually. The best way to do it is over a 4-week period. In week 1, you're sending 5 emails per day. And these need to go to real people, not a warm-up pool, not synthesized reputation. This is real engagement. Week 2, you bump it up to 10. At this point, you should be getting some replies back. By week 3, you're at 15, still increasing gradually. And by week 4, you can now look to push up to that 20 point. But now you're keeping a close eye on your bounce rates. This is crucial because we're in the upper ceiling brackets of sending volume. Realistically, the reason for this slow ramp is that email providers are watching your sending patterns very, very closely. And if you go from 0 to hundreds overnight, that's exactly what a spammer would do. But if you gradually increase while getting real engagement, you're building a reputation as a legitimate sender. Now, finally, you need to monitor your warm-up health. Throughout this process, most warm-up tools will give you a health score, normally just a percentage, or maybe even an engagement rate. And if it drops below 70%, pause your campaigns immediately. Don't push through it hoping it gets better, because it won't. You'll dig yourself a deeper and deeper hole, going into spam and then blacklist, and then being completely written off. And I do not recommend using a specialist warm-up tool. They're overpriced with very minimal value add from what we've seen. Use your sequencer, Smartly, Instantly, Bison, Learnlist, whatever you currently have in place. Now, you can have perfect infrastructure and a flawless warm-up, but if your list is filled with emails that don't exist anymore, people who left the company 2 years ago, typos, spam traps, and so on, then quite frankly, everything we've done up to this point doesn't matter. At low volume, you might get away with a messy list. When you're sending hundreds of thousands of emails a day, bad data compounds fast, and it will burn your domains faster than you can realize. And your bounce rate is the percentage of emails that fail to deliver, meaning the email addresses don't exist or can't receive mail. Email providers track this closely because high bounce rates are a classic sign of a spammer blasting purchase lists. And you want to keep your bounce rate under 1.5%. Ideally, you want to be pushing for sub 1%. If it gets higher, your deliverability will be affected. And this is why verification for every send is absolutely mandatory. Before any campaign goes out, run your entire list through a verification tool like Reune or Million Verifier. What these tools do is they check each email address to see if it's valid, invalid, or risky. You can then remove anything that comes back as invalid or risky if you wanted to, because these are guaranteed bounces. You'll also want to separate or skip catch-all emails. Some companies set up their emails to accept everything sent to them.
Million verifier को बाजन तेरे से I'm just all to start email verification, create a business email, freaking man.
Domain, even if the specific address doesn't exist. The problem is verification tools can't tell if those addresses are real. The server just says yes to everything. So you might send to an address that doesn't actually go to anyone, and it bounces later or goes nowhere. Because of this, it's safer to either skip them or put them in a separate campaign bucket. So what does a healthy list actually look like? It's targeted with people who actually match your ICP, not just anyone with an email address, obviously. And every address has been cleaned before sending. Plus, it's aligned with your offer. There's a real reason these people would care about what you're reaching out about. In terms of tools, Apollo is great for building lists with good filtering options. Sales Navigator works well for precise job title searches, and Clay is useful for enrichment and custom workflows. The key, Apollo is great for building lists with good filtering options. Sales is aligned with your offer. There's a real reason these people to anyone, and it bounces later or goes bounces. You'll also want to separate or skip catch-all emails. Some companies set up their emails to accept everything sent to their domain, even if the specific address doesn't exist. The problem is verification tools can't tell if those addresses are real. The server just says yes to everything. So you might send to an address that doesn't actually go to anyone, and it bounces later or goes nowhere. Because of this, it's safer to either skip them or put them in a separate campaign bucket. So what does a healthy list actually look like? It's targeted with people who actually match your ICP, not just anyone with an email address, obviously. And every address has been cleaned before sending. Plus, it's aligned with your offer. There's a real reason these people would care about what you're reaching out about. In terms of tools, Apollo is great for building lists with good filtering options. Sales Navigator works well for precise job title searches, and Clay is useful for enrichment and custom workflows. The key is you're building a list of people who should actually hear from you, not just scraping as many emails as possible. And this is often the misconception. Writing emails that won't get flagged when sending to these people is the crucial part. So one last thing before we wrap up is your copy. Even with everything dialed in, the infrastructure, the warm-up, the clean list, your actual email content can actually still trip spam filters. And when you're sending up volume, one bad template doesn't just hurt one email, it damages your reputation across every single send. And this is because email providers don't just look at your technical setup, they also scan what you're writing. So don't include any links in your first email. Links are one of the biggest spam triggers, simply because that's what phishing emails rely on to operate. So you should wait until you've had a reply or two before sending a link. A good way to avoid your copy harming your deliverability is to actually use syntax throughout your email. Syntax is where you create variations of words and phrases, so instead of sending the same identical email to 500 people, each one is slightly different in its own unique way. Email providers look for patterns, so if they see the exact same message sent 500 times, it's a clear signal it's automated. So you need to use an email sender tool that has a syntax feature. You also need to avoid the specific words and elements that may trigger spam filters. Words like free, guaranteed, limited time, act now, exclusive offer. These are classic sales and marketing spam language, and email providers have seen them millions of times over. Once you've got all of that in place, do a final read through. Read it out loud. It sounds like a script or a pitch. Simplify it. The goal is that it feels like something a real person would actually write or say, not something that came from a marketing department or GPT. Now, look, if you're serious about scaling your cold email and you want the exact infrastructure setup that I use and thousands of other agencies use, it's helped over 2,000 businesses generate leads with cold email. It's powering 250,000 inboxes right now. And click the first link in the description. It does everything I just walked you through in this video automatically. So instead of spending weeks buying domains, setting up records, warming inboxes, and hoping you didn't miss something, you get infrastructure that's ready to send right away. So click the link in the description and get started today. And if you want to see a breakdown of Alex Hormozzi's $200 million cold email strategy, then watch this video next.
You're listening to Brain FM. We mix neuroscience and music.
Brain FM, Brain FM, we gonna be live, brother, we live.
Want to see if I can calculate $200 million cold email strategy, then watch this video next.
You're listening to Brain FM. We mix neuroscience and music.
Brain FM, we gonna be live, brother, we live. Live,
You're listening to
Brain FM, we gonna be live, brother, we live. Shit. Let's call for it. PC build. Man, I think I'm gonna take a shot to the break and come here on. कहाँ हो रहा है हाम्रो फाउन्डर नोभा इमेल्स फाउन्डर where are you at man videos live views with you views the 2000 man who the heck viewed my oh shit who the heck liked this video wait a sec some more analytics within analytics link मैले लाइक गरेको रहेछ साइटको कस्तो हमिङ गर्ने रहेछ भने शिट म्यान हमिङ अलिकति कम गर्नु पर्यो फिड अकाउन्ट बिजनेस सिङ्गल गरेर आइहाल्छ version. Goat. That's why he's the goat. Oh, too many surveys. Boston. Per month. 120 USD per month. Yeah. Okay, that's super less.